be strong, be respectful, and be kind. In these very tricky times, I think most important is to be yourself, focus on your family, focus on your strengths, drown the noise, don't follow too much of external events, escape the sights and sounds, and focus on what is on your mind.
Johnny Manglani and his daughters Anita. This man and his family runs a luxury menswear empire, which also expanded beyond menswear to jewellery and accessories. A visionary entrepreneur, a super successful businessman, a real alpha. When you become successful, sometimes your ego hits. But as I know you now, you're super humble. We're always like this.
I think you'll have to ask.
Welcome back, Alphas, to a new inspiring episode of the Alpha Talks podcast. Today in the studio, I've got a very special alpha, or a very special alpha family for you today. Johnny Manglani and his daughters Anita. The founder and the CEO of Umo Group, this man and his family runs a luxury menswear empire, which also expanded beyond menswear to jewelry and accessories. So without further ado, let's welcome the Manglani family to the Alpha Talks podcast. So Johnny, thank you for joining us today.
SEIF, thank you very much. You are an absolute legend.
I appreciate that.
It's a great pleasure to be here.
And we're very happy to have you, actually.
I'm very honored that during this Alpha Talk, you're actually wearing a blazer, because I have never seen you
I was just
wearing
saying
a blazer.
Offline,
so I guess it's in tribute to the fashion business, to
it's
menswear.
It's respect to you before the menswear, actually.
Thank you very much. You're very kind.
So before we start, let's say once we publish the episode, the people will see the thumbnail, will see the graphic in it, will see the title, and they will think, actually, it's an interesting episode. What can we promise them today to gain if they gave us their time? Anything that comes out of your mind?
The truth, and the simple truth.
Yeah.
A story of hard work and determination, and continuing, the journey.
I love that. For the audience, the first time I met Johnny, I actually felt that I knew him for years. We broke the ice, I think, in less than 10 seconds, and we spoke about everything as if we know each other for years. Am I true?
That's because of your charm.
And your character as well. Thank you, Johnny.
We are blessed.
Before we start, let's say, or tell the audience, from your perspective, who's Johnny in a nutshell? And you can touch upon your childhood, like whatever you think. If I want to say, who's Johnny?
Well, I can say about today first.
Yeah.
So I'm still a person who is hungry, greedy for success. And nothing has changed since I started my entrepreneurial journey at the age of 17 something.
Wow.
So I left India in 83, coming from a middle class family. And my father had a health issue. So I decided, knowing, at that time, India was not what it is today. At that time, India was more of a socialist democracy, a controlled socialism, democratic society, and a lot of nepotism at that time in India. While today, of course, you meet young billionaires in Dubai at the Arts Club, young Indian billionaires, kids who have started unicorns, come out of university and started unicorns, and they are usually successful.
True.
So there are many examples of that. But at that time, it was not like that. And I'm a Sindhi. Sindhi is a kind of caste in India. And we are an entrepreneurial class of people. And and a lot of Sindhis, they live abroad in Hong Kong, Singapore, West Indies, USA, Nigeria, South Africa. A lot of Sindhis are all over the place. In Dubai, it's a huge Sindhi community. So as a Sindhi boy, it was my ambition to start abroad. And
but you started something different then.
Yeah.
You said all the countries except the one.
Yeah. So USP. So I ended up in Russia. Actually not in Russia, in USSR.
Exactly.
In 1983.
Exactly.
And I remember Yuri Andropov was the chairman at that time. So I ended up there. And
How
I
did
was
it
in
happen? How did it happen, Russia?
Well, I got into custom-made suits and was looking for a market, and I was told while I was in Jamaica at my uncle's shop, I was working there at the age of 17 something, and I was told that, hey, you are a great salesman and you can be very successful, and if you go to Eastern Europe, there's nothing there, and if you try to sell something, you'll make it.
A quick note, I find this incredibly intriguing. On the back end of our YouTube channel, it says around 75% of you who watch this channel frequently over the lifetime of this channel haven't yet hit the subscribe button. I just wanted to ask you for a favor. It helps this channel so much if you choose to just subscribe. It helps us invite guests that give you great value, it helps us scale the production, and as well makes this show bigger and bigger for you. And if you enjoyed the previous episodes and you're currently enjoying this episode, could you please hit the subscribe button? I love your support. It's incredible to see all your comments and engagement, and we are just starting. Thank you so much, and I will repay this gesture by making sure that everything we do on this show makes it bigger, and better. I'm committed to do this promise. Do we have a deal? Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me.
So I took this opportunity and went from Hong Kong I moved to Hong Kong and then went to Russia,
Not
and then
knowing
the
the
rest is
language,
history.
not knowing the culture, not all these.
Not knowing nothing, knowing that it's a superpower.
Yeah.
But when I end up there at the airport, it was dark and kind of looked very dodgy.
Yeah.
And
Totally understand.
totally, and no smiles, no happiness, nothing. Of course, today Russia is totally different.
True.
It's
But how did you adapt to this?
well, I mean, I had a target, so I have always focused on what I want. So the most important thing in life is to drown the noise and to escape the sights and sounds
I
and
love that.
focus on what is on your mind. What do you
Mute.
want?
Yeah.
Mute it. Because today, for example, with the social media, with
Yeah.
TikTok and YouTube, anything you want to do, there are opinions about it. How to play a golf shot, how to tee off, how to do putting. I changed my putting recently, and I
just
was
watching,
miserable.
yeah.
It wouldn't work, and it affected my game. So I went back I was watching some experts because I wanted to
So
putt
it's easy
better.
to learn these days.
Yeah, it's easy to learn, but at the same time,
of
you get
noise.
distracted from
True.
what you know. So I never let distractions come in my way. Of course, there is no doubt it was very, very challenging, and I have seen things which today I feel I'm privileged. Like I have been through so much
Through
in
the-
40
yeah.
years of doing business
True.
in Eastern Europe and then, elsewhere in the world, like in Singapore. But at that time when I was there, it was challenging, but at the same time I had a focus. So
We have-
focus is very
We have
important.
the same journey in a way.
By the way, you have lived in Russia, so you know how it
we
was.
have the same journey in a way. But let's smooth things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're wearing.
So
From
all
a
the formal
professional
clothes, yeah,
standpoint,
all the jackets and shirts. So I'm a jacket guy. I love blazers. I love sport coats. I love suits. There is nothing. There is no better feeling for a man than to wear a jacket, because when you wear a jacket, you feel strong. You feel powerful. You feel like you're making a statement. While you can be successful, you can be very rich and all that, but at the same time, you have to be aware of the image you project,
True.
because image is everything. Today, people have ADHD, so the first impressions count, So
Exactly.
I always, since I'm in the fashion business, I always
Also-
believe in dressing well, and I wear only my stuff. I used to be multi-brand many years ago, but then later on I decided I want to focus only
your
on my
own
brands, and I'm a proud owner of 3 brands.
Yeah,
So I wear
we'll
them.
speak about that.
Yeah.
But let us go a little bit in the beginnings.
Yeah.
What sparked your interest in this field? How did it come to you? And because I know in the beginning, you didn't start in the luxury field or the luxury, then you moved to the luxury segment. Am I correct?
Yes.
So how did this journey happen?
So in From 1983 to 1998, I was doing only affordable luxury. But
In
then
USSR.
all
Before,
Eastern Europe.
all Eastern
I
Europe.
was in Romania when the coup against
Oh my
Ceausescu
God.
happened.
Oof.
So I have seen 2 coup attempts in USSR, one in USSR and one against Gorbachev and one against Yeltsin
Yeah.
in 1993. But just before 1997, their spending habits were changing. They were looking at new things and spending like there is no tomorrow. And people started, like customers started demanding more and more
After the
quality
collapse.
stuff. So then I started Omo Collezioni in 1998.
Wow.
But again, believe me or not, I had to drown all the noise because all my savings were in the US and there was the Lehman Brothers moment.
True.
Plus, I invested in a boutique, in a luxury boutique in Russia, and Russia defaulted. So this was like a double whammy. It's like
True.
being punched by
Big brothers.
by Mike Tyson, like
Yeah.
an uppercut,
True.
know. And but then again, time changes everything, right? Time heals.
True.
So being worried also. But once we started our campaign that we are open, we had queues of customers. So by 1999, 1998 was very, very
So
bad.
you saw the opportunity when the collapse happens.
No, I saw the opportunity before the collapse.
Even before.
Yeah, but then I invested and the
And it
collapse
gone,
happened.
yeah.
So you can imagine how
True.
you feel. Like, many years of savings wiped
True.
out. But then after 1 year, 1999, September, we were already doing very well. And then we started opening our second boutique on Kutuzovsky Prospect, which was a legendary
True.
boutique.
True.
And then we opened Leninsky Prospect, and then we opened Petrovka. So Omo Collezioni, you couldn't escape. We were everywhere where cars are going, where people are going. We were at each and every major avenue.
Wow.
So
How the idea came to you?
1 second,
Yeah.
I want to say, so it taught me a big lesson
Yeah.
that today things can be bad, but there will always be a better tomorrow.
Positivity.
Positivity.
I will ask you about how did you pass these things, because I believe these days I would say young entrepreneurs, they don't have thick skin. They run away as soon as an obstacle happens or there is a challenge that they faced. But there is no success story without a challenge, and then you persist and you make it happen. And in your case, you passed 2 corpses, like it destroys
Much
anybody.
more. It will
Yeah,
come later.
yeah.
But, young people, you say today don't have thick skin.
Yeah.
But I think as you get older also, you develop a very thin skin sometimes because you
in a
lose
way.
patience.
Exactly.
Because you start counting how much time you have.
True.
But patience is always the key to success.
True.
Resilience and patience. But, when you ask me, like, what went through your mind, how did you do it? Honestly speaking, I was just doing my job. I was just trying to be a successful businessman,
never
focusing
thought-
on perfection.
Yeah.
And if you focus, I would say focusing on excellence. And when you focus on excellence, perfection comes by itself.
But it never came to your mind that maybe that's not my area. I will change. I want to give up from this and I will go do something else.
In fact, I think I have been telling my friends, and I believe I even told you when we first met, that I want to go back to Moscow and open 2-3 boutiques more because I see a great opportunity. We are already successful, but I see that what I will do next year for 1 year will pay me back for the next 10 years. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of a new opportunity.
now.
So there is no tiredness, there is no
I
fatigue.
love that. Yeah.
And one has to. So I personally, I have a diversified portfolio and income streams. So I make money in India, I make money in USA, I make money in Dubai, I make money in Russia, I make money in Singapore. But not all the time money comes from everywhere, but there
True.
is diversified
Diversification.
income streams. So it is very important to have a diversified income stream, but at the same time, you have to stick to your core competency. And my core competency is fashion, menswear. We don't do ladies wear. I dream about doing. I'm pushing my younger daughter, Dasha Manglani, to get involved in ladies fashion. But Dasha is her own person, you know. It's
Has
not
more
in the old
vision.
days.
Yeah.
You are the
You do
father
this,
and
you
say,
do
hey,
this,
come
yeah.
here and do
True.
this, and the kid will come.
True.
Yes, daddy, I'm doing it.
What gives you this drive? Like I said, I want to continue. I want to go back to Russia. I want to open 5 more stores. What drives you?
I think it's inborn and inbred. There is no such thing as somebody is telling me or God is speaking to me or something like this.
Or there is a big why behind,
But-
or you face some really big pain in the past.
Well, I think that probably that pain, even if I screw up massively, is probably not going to come back. So it's not a question of pain or something. But I think, number one, you must remember, I'm a Sindhi. And we Sindhis are driven by success, right? And then there is no such thing. I mean, you can take a back seat. I had a health incident in 2016.
Okay.
When I was in ICU, and I promised my family that, hey, this is it. I will not grow beyond this. But after 1 year, I got bored. So I opened a boutique in Miami. I opened a boutique in Mexico City. I opened a boutique in London. And I opened 1 more in Singapore and 2 more in Russia.
Yeah.
But then along came the spider, along came COVID, and it wiped out many of those efforts, you know. So
You can't stop. You know, I'll tell you a story. Back in the years, because I also work in a family business.
Yeah.
And my father came to me and said, like, SEIF, I want to retire. I said, like, I don't believe you. He said, I want to retire. So now I will appoint you as the CEO. I said, are you sure you want to retire? He said, like, yes. I said, I don't believe you, but okay. He appointed me as CEO. It took him 5 days. Got bored.
I was guessing.
Created a new role, group CEO. And you know, I love the energy that he's 65 now, and he still wants to work. He needs to go to work every day. He needs to make things happen. So I totally understand why you don't want to stop. It's not an ending thing for you. You want to be in the game.
I don't know, Saif, if you have discussed this with your father, but surely next time you meet, you should discuss with him. When you become successful, you are having a small, medium, large empire, and you become the master of the business. Of course, at home,
True.
you know, we are not the masters, right? But,
In a way.
but at least,
It's called the alpha.
yeah, at least at work, you are the master.
Yeah.
And then you get used to, you know, having, you know, thoughts, ambitions, dreams, targets, and
True.
you rely on your, you know, team to carry out your plans and make it
Absolutely.
successful, right? While after you retire, you feel a little bit of loss of empire. You feel a bit of
True.
loss of power.
True.
Why do politicians do their best not to go out of power? Because they
100%.
know there is probably boring stuff
Yeah.
waiting for them.
And power is addiction.
But
True.
there are many people who transit very successfully. There are many people who transit very successfully from being president of a country to writing books and doing the, you know, lecture
True.
tours and all that. But not all of them
But it's not
succeed
easy,
like that.
true.
It's not easy because you're used to being
True.
a leader.
True.
And then suddenly, you know, you find
Things
the day
change,
very
yeah.
long. How much golf can you play? How many
Yeah.
cards can you
True.
throw on the table? And how much can you travel?
I love this
So it's a
analogy.
little bit of loss
Yeah.
of empire,
True.
which makes us go along, you know.
True. 100%.
I have a friend, his father is 82 years old. He does only 2 things. He watches OTT all day and he trades stocks.
No way.
Yeah, He's 82 years old. He's always trading stocks. Whenever he sees me, he says, "Hey, son,
you see.
what are you investing in now?" So he's 82 years old. I say, "Uncle,
Never stop.
relax. You have a..."
Oh my God. You've been awarded in Italy a very big award, and it's hard for me to pronounce it, so you will pronounce it. That really makes you proud, and I believe makes your family proud, and makes the whole industry proud. Can you tell us about it?
So, yeah, it's one of my biggest achievements, because when it comes to something like this, you don't look at, what cars you have or what properties you have or what boutiques you have. To be honored, this was during the times of Prime Minister Berlusconi and President Napolitano, and they were very pro-business, and we were Uomo Collezioni. You know us from Moscow, because we were making a lot of statements in the menswear. Even today I meet Russians who, other day I was in a restaurant and I met a guy and his wife was with him, and he said, "Oi, you are Johnny from Uomo Collezioni." And so it makes you feel very proud. So Uomo Collezioni was recognized for promoting purely made in Italy. And then I was a big campaigner for made in Italy fashion for many years in Russia. Of course, a lot of copycats, a lot of competition came along, and I feel sometimes sorry about all the articles and press conferences I used to give about talking about that, because then people are listening and they are copying you exactly one-on-one and doing even a better job. So sometimes to give out information like that can be harmful. But we promoted Italy a lot, and then I received a letter from the president of Italy's office saying that I've been nominated to be Cavaliere del Lavoro, Repubblica Italiana. Cavaliere del Lavoro di Repubblica Italiana, which means knighthood of the Italian Republic.
Wow.
And the whole Italian embassy, I had the choice to go to Rome and just with 2 people, or I had the choice to close the Italian embassy, the whole Italian embassy, which has a beautiful garden, after 6 in the evening till 10 in the night.
Wow.
So we invited 300 of our top clients and friends and had a wonderful, wonderful occasion. The catering was done by Novikov. And it was totally amazing evening. So for me, that was a great achievement. But I have a second achievement.
Which?
So, I'm, you wouldn't know by looking at me, but I'm very God-fearing and very religious in my beliefs. But when we were born, my father, the first visit I had was to a temple which was next to us. And I and my sister actually 5 years ago built a Lord Shiva temple there. So, we will be gone in a few years, but the temple is made of Rajasthani stone, all handmade. So it will stand for about 300 years, we hope, or even more. So that is part of our family legacy.
Wow.
So these are the 2 big honors, besides having my 2 wonderful daughters.
Of course. I
have had.
I'll ask you something a little bit
and a lot of friends.
Of course. And you're a master of doing quick friends, having quick friends, because your character is so inviting, so positive, so everybody feel at comfort with you. There is no barriers, you understand what I'm saying. And the second question would be, were you always humble growing your empire, or you became humble when you understood that, or you had a turning point? You can't, let me put it rephrase it. When you become successful, sometimes your ego hits and you lose your humbleness. But as I know you now, you're super positive, you're super humble, and I believe that's the correct or positive qualities any successful person must have. This happened to you suddenly, or you were always like this?
First of all, to get compliments from you is a privilege.
I appreciate it.
Because I'm somebody who admires you a lot.
I appreciate it.
And I hope one day I will have your body. You're amazingly fit and good looking.
I appreciate it.
So getting a compliment from you is amazing. I think you'll have to ask my ex-employees.
Yeah.
I taught them a lot. They learned a lot. Many of them are successful. I'm not sure I was the easiest boss because I wouldn't tolerate mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a perfectionist because, look, our business is like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to our boutique here, I can meet you and you can say, hey, you have Uomo Collezioni here. Yes, I have. Oh, I would love to order some suits. Just last Friday, a friend of mine from Austria, who has been our client for 15 years now, he was in Abu Dhabi and he ordered like a huge order. He ordered for 3 years because he doesn't know when he'll come to Dubai next.
No way.
So my team went to Abu Dhabi and took his order. And after that, Saturday, I was playing golf with him in Abu Dhabi. He is my very close friend. But if his clothes don't come right, he will not blame the team. He will say, your business is horrible, your company is horrible. So
we're very
So
strict.
you have to be a perfectionist, right? To be successful in what we do. Customers pay for perfection.
True.
So I think I was an intolerant boss. But as time went by and, I see my children growing up, then I realized that my employees, my managers are also somebody's children.
Yeah.
And then the next step comes in. You want them to be successful.
Correct.
So I have done a beautiful thing with my business, which I'm very proud of, and I'm happy to
love
tell
that.
you if you want to hear about it.
Of course.
So all the Uomo Collezioni boutiques, all my boutiques, the Bespoke Club, when I was 55, I decided that I'm actually more fit than my managers. Physically and mentally and, much stronger.
Yeah.
So, I might leave for many years and they will still be my managers. So I franchise my businesses to them.
Wow.
So now they are the owners of the business and we have very strong legal franchise agreements in place.
Wow.
And I act as a chairman of the company and a mentor, but I don't do day to day. I do not do any day to day.
I love this.
I just read the reports every week. And I know, of course, if you will today go to any of my boutiques in the world, in Singapore or anywhere in Miami, if I know you, I will get a WhatsApp 1 minute later saying, hey, your friend SEIF came to the Miami boutique. Here is a picture with him and this is what he ordered.
No way.
And tell us what he likes. So I have a very good system of management, but I don't do hiring. I don't do firing. After COVID, I decided, and before COVID actually, God bless, I decided this is not for me.
But it empowers the employees, it empowers your team, it motivates them to have skin in the game. It's a very nice move.
Yes, because, companies preach strong sense of ownership, but where is the strong sense of ownership?
True.
The dividends are distributed according to the board, right?
True.
The private jets are used for the board. Where is the strong sense of ownership? But here, they are the owners. And, to me, they are like my children.
I
So
love
it's a very good way. And I personally believe that it gives me much more time. Of course, I sometimes see that I would have more aggression. I would have more ambition. I would have more drive. So like I said, next year I might return to Moscow and give it a new push.
Your own thing.
Yeah, like
again.
put some touch, not my touch, but some stuff into the business which will pay us back for 10 years to come.
I love that. That's a very nice one. Lately, I see that the men's fashion, I would say even outpacing the women fashion. Like, the man attitude towards their fashion, how they dress up, how they look. It's totally different than days before or years before. What contributed to this, that men want to look fashionable, in style? Am I correct or not? You see the industry much better than me.
Honestly, we were betting on that
I'm
men would
100%,
become
yeah.
very vain and men would spend on clothes. And I must say, men are big spenders on not only clothes, on jewelry,
accessories,
on watches. I know friends who have watch collections of millions.
True.
Stunning watch collections, I know friends who have huge collection of cars. So today I think life has changed a little bit from a mentality of saving for the rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
People want to live for today.
True.
Every motivational speaker you listen to tells you every morning, forget the past, forget the future. Don't think
Focus
about the
on the
future.
present.
Focus on now.
True. Focus on
Present.
the present.
So I think it's a big thing, you know, that attitudes have changed. And by the way, customization has become very big. I mean, in the old days, if you remember, boutiques like ours used to offer customization. But today, the mass luxury
True.
brands, they also offer customization. I was other day, a few months ago, in Abu Dhabi, and I bought Dior Sauvage, the aftershave, because it's very difficult to get aftershaves nowadays.
True.
You get only the Udu toilets because men don't shave.
True. I live it.
So, but I love the aftershave feel.
True.
And it's the balm I don't like. I like the liquid aftershave. So I bought this Dior Sauvage. And then they said, would you like your personal monogram on the bottles? And I
No
said,
way.
what do you mean?
No, seriously?
And believe me or not, they have this machine, and I have a video of it. Within 3 seconds, I have my initials put on in a
On the aftershave?
department store on the aftershave
Wow.
bottle and the Udu toilet. It's with JM. It's not made by us. It's Dior.
Wow.
So customization is a big thing today.
But what do you think it fueled this? It fueled that the men need to look after themselves, to look better, to look stylish. It wasn't like this in the past.
Well, I mean, there are different kinds of men. I'm not
And I
sure
think
the crypto
culture-
crowd
Yeah,
or the
true.
AI crowd today is dressing up or,
I mean,
you know.
let's say businessmen, entrepreneurs, forget the outliers.
Well, look at the life today. In the old days, you want to go out for dinner, you go to a boring restaurant. Today, if you want to go out for dinner, you go to arts club where there is
True.
party and there is, you know, great food, great service, or you go to all these fancy restaurants in DIFC.
True.
And it's all happening. So life has itself changed, you know. I mean,
How did
people
you
go
see
out
it
more?
at that time? You know, like it's really amazing for me because by seeing it at that time means that you're really a visionary. Because at that time, I believe back in the 90s, it wasn't like this. How did you forecast that, oh my God, I will bet on this route, which even doesn't exist? It didn't exist at that time, but I'll bet on it to the max.
so I believe that vision and, you know, vision is very hyped up thing. When you are running a business, you are focusing on KPIs, on meeting the sales targets, on beating the previous year targets and things like that. And for that, you have to be innovative. You have to bring new products. You have to come up with more and more expensive products so that,
True.
you know,
keep
competition
going,
is
yeah.
increasing, so that you have to focus on quality, improving the quality.
True.
And it's just like, you know, BMW sells 1 Series, 3 Series, 7 Limo, 7 EV. So it's just that you have to come up with more and more things to take the money, to get the money from customers, you know, to retain your customers,
True.
in fact. So I personally think many people who said, oh, I started this in my garage and I had a vision. And I was listening to one of the coolest companies in the world. Today, one of the most successful companies in the world is something which we cannot live without. Your phone, your microphone will not work without it. It's NVIDIA.
Yeah, NVIDIA.
But I was listening to Jensen Huang. I admire this
Yeah.
man. You know, I mean,
Of
he
course,
has
yeah.
conquered.
True.
I mean,
Everything.
He's the king of processors,
Chips. Yeah.
you know, semiconductors, chips. And he was saying that they asked him, would you start this company again? He said, no, I would never
Bust
do
through
it
this
again
again.
because I did not know what is involved, that we would have to work so hard. Every quarter we have to report better and better results. We have to face all kinds of challenges and
True.
be innovative, keep
Very
on
few
innovating.
people say this actually. Very few.
It's actually a very nice interview. It was 2 weeks ago on CNBC. So he did not know what he's getting into. But today he's, you know, he wears his black leather jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
Super cool dude. And he's the boss of
True.
NVIDIA.
True. These days, do you think?
I personally believe Elon Musk knows where he's going because he's the outlier.
Yeah, he's down. Yeah, exactly.
He's an outlier. He's a freak.
True.
So, I think he personally probably knows.
Outside of Earth.
Yeah.
People now, or your perspective, that you think that men, from their way they dress up, you can understand their economic class or status. Is it a symbol for that or not?
No, I believe that dressing well dressing well is also how you behave, how you carry yourself, how you respect others. I mean, to earn respect, you have to respect others.
True.
So I think it's all a part of
It's a package.
our exterior. It's a whole package. But I personally don't think that if you're wearing a $10,000 jacket or a $1,000 jacket, you are different. It's just that you have personal ambition to express your character, to express who you are, what your taste is. I mean, how can you express yourself? With the watch you're wearing, with the bike you are riding, with the cars you drive, with the kind of home. I mean, you buy a home and you design it to your liking, right? Not because somebody told you, some magazine told you this is how your home should look at. You should have turquoise wallpaper. But you believe in brown, you believe in black, so you will do that, right?
For a man, from your perspective, a man should have what kind of items in his wardrobe? I would say to be stylish. As a guru in this industry.
I wouldn't call myself a guru.
Let me see.
Okay, thank you. I wouldn't agree to that. There are much bigger gurus sitting in Paris and Milan.
I know one guru.
But number one, to me, most important thing today is how I travel. So comfortable clothes for travel is the most important.
Okay.
Secondly, jackets, I think they make a huge statement. They make you look fine. They make you look good. Thirdly, of course, shirts, they are the closest thing to our body. Unless you are the old-fashioned guy who wears a t-shirt under your shirt, which,
Yeah, I know a lot of them.
But I don't think many of them do that. So shirt is the closest thing to your body. So good shirts for the morning, for the evening. I love knitwear, excellent knitwear, stylish knitwear.
True.
So jeans, of course, is one of the most important elements. And of course, the sneakers. So,
True.
I mean, today it's not wrong to be at a big party with a beautiful suit and a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
So, the world has changed. So,
touching this, have you ever, looking at your phone or the news or the TV, and a fashion thing passed by, and you said, what was the worst men's fashion thing that you saw? And I don't want to say disgusted, but like I said, what the hell is that?
First of all, I don't judge. It's not a question. Yeah, I don't judge.
According to you, because everybody has a school.
Each to their own. I have maximum customers we got in the 1980s and 1990s in Russia were in fake Adidas and Nike jogging suits.
Yeah.
So my standards were very low to start with. I would see all these guys come up with bodyguards to our boutiques and with AK-47s, and then they would be dressed in fake Nike suits. So the standards were very low. But of course, sometimes, you do get shocked by how people dress. But I have lived in Asia. I'm a Singaporean. I've lived in Singapore. And sometimes when you see the young Asians or the uncouth, style they use, you get used to everything.
But give me something. Because, for example, if you tell me, SEIF, what do you see now pisses you off? It's my style. Like, it's what I perceive. Like, I see men in skinny jeans. Oh my God, what the heck is happening? This is, I can't bear.
Well, what
Second is this colored socks appearing as if they're wearing it on their necks. You understand this? These kind of things, it's for me. I'm not saying that I'm the most fashionable person on earth, but when I see these things, for me, that's not fashion.
Well, what I don't respect, I can tell you, is like, for example, the dress codes. So tomorrow we have a dinner where it's written black tie. But then I'm sure there will be people coming in shirts and jeans.
Okay.
It's disrespect for etiquette.
The color code.
And I
dress
see
code.
that all the time. I even saw it last weekend at a party that we are all finely dressed because the dress code was
XYZ.
formal, and the guy there were many guys coming in t-shirts and things like that. To me, that's disrespect, and I personally believe that people should follow etiquettes. So that to me is very important.
True.
And,
so there is nothing that pisses you off in fashion.
Nothing surprises me.
Just shoot.
Okay, well, today I was walking at West Palm.
Yes, that's what
and
I'm
there
looking
was,
for.
I was walking at West Palm, and there was a guy in shortest of black shorts without a t-shirt and a very pinkish looking guy. And I thought that was disrespect for where we are. That was disrespect for the culture, for all the ladies who are jogging there, walking dogs and stuff like that. That is utterly disrespect.
True.
Put a t-shirt on, man.
Out of place.
Yeah,
correct.
And if you have an attractive body, try to make it interesting by hiding it a bit.
Yeah.
But you don't even have an attractive
Scarcity.
You don't have an attractive body. You look like a clown.
Yeah.
And you're, early in the morning, 6:30, you have to see that. It's horrible.
True.
So that surprised me this morning.
What is home? Which place you consider home?
Home is where you are. So for me, Dubai is home. I love Dubai. Home is Moscow. I love Moscow. Home is also when I'm in India, I feel very good about life there. When I'm in Singapore, I feel at home. So for me, you can send me to any part of the world and I will make it my home. I don't really. I focus on
getting things done.
I focus on being happy and making the best of things. Not too much moaning and not too much,
What the biggest failure you had?
Ooh.
Yeah, shoot me a couple. And how did you pass them? The most important thing, how did you pass them? Because I believe you have resilience like hell, grit like hell, persistent like hell, passing all this. So share with us.
Okay, so COVID was a very big loss for us.
Offline retail.
No, because we had 7 boutiques in Singapore. And we had lots of boutiques in
And you had boutiques in
Moscow.
Marina Sands, right?
Marina Bay Sands. The lane was called Marina Bay Sands. Is the most expensive building in the world. And one lane was called JM Lane. You can check it on Google. The CEO named it because I had 7 boutiques next to each other. To lose that empire due to COVID, due to no fault of mine, was very, very hurtful because we had rental concessions, but it was not free. We had government subsidy, but it came at a cost. We had availability of bank loans, but not without paying percent. So when you are first told that, hey, we will rescue you, you say, great, I love it. But then when you find out that you have to pay for 2 years without having zero income, it's very harmful. So, but God has been kind. I sold most of the business. I found buyers. Some of the contracts expired, so I escaped. And I went back to Moscow. I was in Moscow at that time, so I did not have access. But everything I did it from home in Moscow. And then I established myself in Dubai. So that loss of empire is still hurting a lot. But then my closest friend says, why do you need it? Why do you need it? And then, of course, the lot of mistakes in I got into managing our family portfolio, and I got into picking stocks and cryptos and so on. So there are a lot of success stories there, but there are a lot of failures there too. But at the same time, I learned a new skill during COVID, and that has paid us off very well.
Wow. Which skill?
Managing your money, educating yourself.
So,
and then I found a new home in Dubai, and you know that we are very well established in Dubai.
Yeah, that's a good question. From different perspectives, like a job opportunity or a business opportunity and safety and why you chose Dubai?
Well, you should ask me why I chose Singapore.
That was 2010. Let's go here.
Yeah, so it's same thing. I just felt Dubai will be the new place because they were very good at tackling COVID.
Okay.
They were the first ones to give vaccines to residents. So I came here became a resident, and I got
During COVID, yeah.
the first flight
Yeah.
out of Moscow, Emirates. I was on it, and I came here, and believe me or not, I was staying at W Hotel in the best suite they have for $200 a night.
Wow.
Today they will not give you that suite. I swear
Wow.
to God, for less than
Wow.
2,000
Yeah.
euros
Wow.
a night. Forget dollars.
Oh, wow.
So I was staying in the best suite and a lot of complimentary stuff. And then I decided to make Dubai as a home. I got my vaccines. I felt good. Lot of friends here from many, many years have been visiting Dubai. So thought like, and I'm blessed to, we bought a home here in Dubai on the Palm, because today I think it would be a little bit expensive,
True.
unaffordable probably.
True.
So yeah, a lot of positive things came out of that.
Dubai.
And Dubai has such a beautiful way of integrating people. Number one, safety.
Yeah.
So you're very safe in Dubai. How many times have we all forgotten our wallets or mobile phones somewhere and it's returned? So then the government here is extremely friendly, very efficient in getting things done. You come for a golden visa here, within 3 days of being here, the health checkup is done, your ID is on the way. So Dubai has a very efficient system.
True.
And UAE itself is a very welcoming. The people are very nice here. The interaction, I have lots of local friends. They are super nice, super humble. So I feel very good about being in Dubai. Yeah.
And if
And
we
there
go
are so
back-
many nationalities here.
Yeah,
so you
absolutely.
can,
It's the
if you want to
most
have a Jamaican
multicultural-
beef patty here,
Yeah,
I can
it's
take
done.
you to have a Jamaican beef patty.
In
Dubai.
2010, you made the same move, but to Singapore. And this move to Singapore, you actually targeted Singapore, Marina Bay Sands on a big scale. It wasn't a small scale, it's a big expansion. What propelled you towards Singapore?
So 1998, 2008, two big crises, like financial crisis in Russia. And then, kids are growing up. So I decided to diversify a bit, and I went to Singapore after AFC, Asian Financial Crisis, to invest in properties.
Yeah.
But then I saw Marina Bay Sands being built, and by accident I met George Tanasevich, who was the CEO at that time at a golf club.
Yeah.
And then he was with my lawyer at that time. They were playing golf, and I was invited. And my lawyer said, "Why are you putting money in properties? It's not your business.
Commercial.
Put money in Marina Bay Sands. Will open the largest casino in Asia. Rich Asians will come from all over." So I decided to do it, but
Another crisis, yeah.
and we were so successful in 2014. The government of Singapore invited the whole family to become Singapore citizens. So that was also.
So you're a
in
Singaporean citizen?
Yeah, we are all my kids. Everybody.
as well. Very nice.
So
And now there is a presence in Singapore or no?
yes, we have an office there, but it's mostly based on my family portfolio rather
okay.
than fashion. I have one franchise boutique there, but I personally don't manage it.
I'm sure Dubai will be a great place where your business will expand even in the region, the Middle East region, I believe. So,
Inshallah.
and inshallah. If I'm gonna ask you, what are your top 5 tips for men
Okay.
to be stylish?
Number 1,
Yes.
get SEIF's diet and workout formula.
Okay, that's number 1.
Secondly, dress well.
No, really, what, like, for a man to be stylish?
Look, I mean, doesn't take
You
much.
say like a cuffling, you need to have cufflinks, you need to have a blazer, like, what's your secret sauce?
Look, doesn't take much. I mean, just wear what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel nice, what makes you feel proud, what makes you look elegant.
But a question, that means for all the clients that you had, you made people
And
from...
what will every woman think, like, oh, scent of a man,
Oh, sorry.
not scent of a woman.
But for all your clients, do you suggest to them or not? Or you tell them they come with their requests?
Look, I don't as a rule since many years,
Yeah.
since 15, 20 years, I don't service any clients myself.
But you
because all
trained
my
the pin.
clients,
Yeah.
we became friends.
True.
We would socialize, and they would squeeze me for discounts
Correct.
like you cannot imagine. So I said, look, I'm off the
I'm gonna-
retail.
true,
I will
true.
tell my guys to take
Yeah.
care of you. I don't participate in any retail policies because my business is franchised.
True.
And I don't
No, and
want
correct.
to.
People will, and friends will squeeze in a way.
You would think your friends would want to give you more money, but they want to
The
squeeze you.
opposite, yeah. I'm
It's
your friend,
opposite. They will open a bottle of Sasikaya for you.
True.
But then when it comes to paying a fair
No,
price for
no,
a suit,
no,
they will
no.
want a discount.
True,
So
true.
it's the same thing with, car retail car showrooms.
True.
They also say that our richest clients come and they want to get
Actually,
free upgrades.
correct.
So-
Let's move to family
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yes.
Tell me about your family and how they're involved in your business and how you want to cultivate the family, your daughters, in your business.
First of all, as I told you, my team, they themselves are family for
Yeah.
me. All my boys, all my managers, and the girls who work in Moscow, they are family for me. They have been, we are like the CIA. Nobody leaves us. So, people have been with us for many, many years. So, very proud of that. Secondly, my daughter Anita, who does beautiful travel jewelry. She'll tell you
Yeah.
about it herself. And she designs each and every piece. She makes only 1 or 2 pieces per design. So it's a lot of work. Some of her pieces are resembling craft jewelry, right? But she charges 100 times less than craft. So I'm very proud of that. And my younger daughter, I'm trying to get her focused into ladies, because I believe ladies suits some of the items she's very stylish girl, so I'm very proud of her, and I'm trying to tell her that you should do something with your style, create your own collection. And as far as I know, she's busy designing a label with the help of Anita and packaging, so that's happening. And
Do you
Anita
mentor
also
them?
has a ladies' bags collection, small one, curated, and ladies' scarves collection, very curated.
Do you
So-
mentor them? Do you coach them? Do you drive them towards a particular path, or you let them choose their own path?
Look, we have always raised our kids to think on their own. We did our best to give them good education, to give a good start in life, let them figure it out. Because if you interfere too much, the success is theirs, but the mistakes are yours. So better not to, in today's world, not to interfere too much.
I love that. Anita, welcome to the Alpha Talks podcast.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us today. We had a lovely talk with your father where we touched upon many things in his journey. And the first thing I would like to know from you, who's Anita?
So first of all, thanks for having me here. It's
Yeah.
really an honor.
Yeah, it's same here.
And so basically, in a few words, I think Anita is someone who was very stubborn when it came to kind of pursuing her dreams, and someone who actually did what she wanted. And you'll be surprised, but there were a lot of people who were telling me that my idea is not going to work, and who's gonna buy this, and who needs this.
But before the idea, who's Anita? Before the idea, we'll dig into the, if I ask your friends, what are they gonna tell me about you?
They're gonna say I'm funny.
Yeah, okay.
And that I always laugh. so somebody who loves nature, horses, animals, creating. I always used to draw as a kid, which is what eventually led me where I am now.
Yeah.
And I think that sums it up.
Then, what was your background education?
So I studied political science in Moscow State University, which is surprising considering that I'm a jewelry designer. But basically the
And
good...
a tough university.
Oh, the toughest. Out of 30 people in my group, only 10 of us graduated. So
True.
it was quite the school of life.
Then how this change happened, studying political science in MGU, one of the toughest university.
Top 10 in Europe.
True.
Super proud of it.
Yeah. And then jewelry and founding a brand.
So basically, the way it happened is that I was in my family business in Singapore that was discussed, Omo Group.
Yeah.
So I was running the PR department there. I mean, I obviously started from zero. I was the assistant of the manager, and then eventually just,
Father did a good job.
yeah, probably. And basically, as soon, so at some point, I remember I even told my dad that I want to go and do my master's at London College of Fashion to learn how to start a costume jewelry brand. Which is funny, because only once I started it, I remembered that that was the idea, because I had a bit of a break in between. And so the thing is that he didn't really want me to leave, so I just went kind of behind his back and got into London College. I got into the online, it was already there.
Yeah.
And so, I just went and got into London College of Fashion, announced to everyone that I got in, which was amazing, because I mean, it's considered to be one of the best fashion universities in the world. So even for me, it was like a total shock.
How long was it?
A year. I just did my master's there. So I went there, and then afterwards, actually when I was in London itself, I watched a documentary about diamonds, because this is gonna sound a bit weird, but I never really understood jewelry. I was like, why are people buying jewelry? Like, what is the point? But I was so fascinated how God has created something. I mean, he created nature, right? So within nature, something so beautiful and so flawless can be found. So I was fascinated how, like, with the beauty of diamonds, precious stones, everything. So I actually made I did a gemologist course, I did a jewelry designer course, I did a gemology course, and after that, I made a few diamond pieces from my friends, some engagement rings.
Before starting the brand?
Yeah,
that's all
before starting my brand. But then later on, so obviously because I started really enjoying jewelry, understanding it, wanting more of it, obviously, then I was like, but it would be so nice if, for example, for certain outfits, I can get certain stuff that matches it. Obviously, if you're wearing, for example, a blue dress. I am wearing I am wearing a blue dress. I am not going to go to and buy like a sapphire, for
X
ridiculous amount
price.
of money or something like this just to match my dress. Like, it doesn't make sense. So it started from there. So I was like, I want to be able to design fast fashion kind of jewelry. And costume jewelry is something I've always liked as well, but the thing is that I don't like that the finishing is not very high quality. And so eventually it started like this. Then I traveled, I found myself on Mykonos without my jewelry, and I was so upset that I just feel like I don't feel like myself, something's missing. And so I just made a few samples with the lab created stones, and it was actually very funny, because my first customer, this is actually crazy, was a lady at a jewelry exhibition who was selling fine jewelry.
No way.
And she saw
your
can
product.
you imagine? She saw an emerald cut band like this, and she was like, wow, where's your ring from? I'm like, it's my brand.
Yeah.
She's like, can I buy this? I was like, yes, you can. So actually, a lady who was wearing fine jewelry bought costume jewelry.
But that's
from
before
me.
even setting up your brand, or by the time you already set
No, I mean, I obviously had the paperwork, but obviously, it wasn't. It was at a stage when I was just talking to relatives and very few close friends, because obviously you don't want to. Not everyone. Like, you can only trust your close friends with information like this. And so, eventually it just happened. Like, it was actually never, like, I didn't even, like, at some point, as I said, when I went to my master's, I was like, I'm gonna start a costume jewelry brand. I completely let it go. I forgot it. And then somehow, maybe subconsciously, it just followed me.
Question. Family.
Yeah.
How was your, I would say, father reaction when you said, I want to do my own brand? How was it?
To be honest, I think he kind of expected that that's gonna happen at some point because, you know, even if you ask me, like sometimes people are like, oh, who would you become, this and that. I could never, like, this is gonna sound quite maybe cliche in a way, but to be honest, entrepreneurship is all I know. Like, I don't know how to do anything else. Like, I cannot do a 9 to 6 job because I grew up in this family and my dad was ingraining me into the business since I was like 14. So I even traveled with him to Italy, to the exhibitions, just to see, you know, how they order clothes, do everything. So there was not even any other situation that could have happened. So I feel that he kind of expected it and saw it coming.
A totally
I do
different
hope he
business
was
line.
happy.
Yeah.
I hope he was.
Johnny,
Were you happy?
were you happy that she started her own brand?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so
What can be better than, you know, what can be better than
But what I loved, it's, I don't know in all your boutiques are the same or not, you combine both brands together. It's across.
yes, in Moscow too. In
Moscow.
too,
So
yeah.
the menswear and the jewelry, it's
Yeah.
together. Very, very nice.
I started independently,
Okay.
then in Moscow I started designing for them, and so here also, like, we're like partners over here. So it's kind of my own thing, but we made a synergy.
How long the brand exists to now?
I think it's going to be 5 years
5
already.
years.
5 years.
Love it.
Still,
What were the
It's
challenges?
at a baby stage. So.
What were the challenges? Tell me the challenges.
So first of all, I think, I mean, it's just
Can you come
it's,
towards
yeah,
the yeah.
it's just so hard to imagine. Like, the number one challenge for me was how many people, not my friends, but people from outside, when I started, how much they were criticizing what I'm doing. Oh my God, you don't know the stuff I've heard. Who's gonna buy this? Who needs this? And it's a bunch of people, I don't know what they are doing, to be honest, but they had an opinion, you know. And what other challenge? Obviously, finding good suppliers.
If I stop here, how did you handle this? The noise? Like Johnny mutes noise.
Yeah, we're very different, me and him. So actually, my way of starting to ignore was, I have a very successful acquaintance who is in a similar kind of business. She does bridal jewelry, and I actually shared this with her, and she actually told me that, and she's become super successful, and she told me that the amount of criticism she heard was unbelievable, and by being very stubborn
Okay.
is what got her. And I remember also my dad once told me about another like situation, that by being stubborn is the way you're going to get things.
True, stubbornness
Your
is,
way.
yeah.
I definitely
But
think
actually,
so.
it's a way of muting as well, as if they don't exist.
Yeah, this now, I mean now, and obviously, like, you mature as a person, you learn this, but I was only like, I don't know, early mid-20s when I started. So obviously you're a different person now. Of course, I don't even know who
True.
thinks what.
It doesn't matter. What you're wearing now is your collection,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
The necklace, the wristbands, the ring.
Yes.
Tell us about them.
So basically, this pendant necklace is one of my classics. So actually, when I started, this was one of the first models I made. So we have them in with different stones, different colors. And for example, this bracelet I wore because it's a multicolor bracelet.
Yeah.
As you see, it's like, you know, and this is actually a signature twist of my brand.
Wow.
So I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of my jewelry, it's all like crazy colors,
Yeah.
crazy color combination. Because I mean, usually even in terms of dressing up, that's what I like to do. I like matching up different colors. I mean, today is a bit different, but usually
But to
lots of
give-
color going on.
To give the people an understanding about how tough or how precise or how becoming a perfectionist
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
doing jewelry, can you give us an idea of how the process goes?
So the process is that either I mean, I keep on designing new collections. So again, I have different sources of inspiration, whether it is some people I meet, some experiences I go through, some, like, I love nature, as I said. So for me, even to put something together, I can travel to a place where there's nature, or here I can go to like a picturesque place. I draw the jewelry myself, I sketch it. And for example, now, like I just recently went to Kathmandu, Nepal, because I wanted to climb a mountain. And so basically I saw the nature there, and now the jewelry that we're making is also like I saw the nature from the mountains. I have the photos, and I'm using a lot of the colors that I saw there. It's a very beautiful, colorful place, and so from there I'll be designing a collection inspired by my trip.
Wow.
Before that, my collection was actually inspired by Dubai.
Before
Like
that.
these kind of very like majestic, big pieces, big solitaires, lots of emeralds. So I think actually certain locations are what inspire me.
Inspires you.
So inspire me.
But after you design,
most.
the process is long.
Oh, the
And your
process
quality
is-
control
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
unbelievably strong.
Yeah.
Take the people through it.
Yeah, sure. It's actually good to take them through so
yeah.
that, as
They
my dear
understand.
father mentioned, so
Yeah.
that people stop nagging me for a discount, because there's a lot of work that goes in. So basically, I draw the items, and then I go to my production. I have my own atelier, my own workshop, so where I control the quality. And so basically I give them the designs and they start making them. So I control the whole process, starting from the 3D, because you make a 3D, then the wax
Yeah.
comes in, I control everything. And then basically, once the piece is ready, we give you a fantastic pink box. And it can be either a wonderful present
Wow.
or like women get
The
for
manufacturing
themselves.
happens where?
Dubai.
Dubai. Wow. It's been always Dubai?
No.
No, moving
All
it
over
depends,
the place, yeah. But now because I'm here, so Dubai, and I
control.
think in general the experience that jewelers have over here is
It's top
like it
notch.
suits me. It's top,
Top notch.
Yeah, I mean,
Good.
you have to
Top
control
notch.
it. It will not be top notch.
Without controlling.
Any production, doesn't matter what you do, clothes, jewelry, I don't know, cars. If nobody's controlling it, it's gonna be a catastrophe.
How long does it take from the moment that you draw the sketch till you have the piece of jewelry in your hand?
So I always tell customers 2-3 weeks. Again, I tell them 2-3 weeks so that there are no misunderstandings. But my lovely customers will not let me lie. If there is an emergency, 1 week.
It's done.
Imagine from the 3D to the cast. And usually now New Year is coming. This is the favorite time of my Russian customers. They're
true.
gonna be calling me saying, "Oh, I'm wearing
Yeah,
this outfit
true,
design." So
true.
yeah, I mean for my VIPs, 1 week.
This means that as a client, I can come to you and say, I want something special and unique, and you can do it?
Of course, 100%.
100%. How do you take this process?
I'll tell you more. I can even you can even say I'm thinking about something like this. Something I guide people through the process. I will from my head draw and create some designs. I actually did that for a friend. She had a natural yellow topaz, a very big oval stone, and she was like, "What can we do with it?" We set it in black metal. I drew
Wow.
the setting. It is just such a beautiful piece.
Wow.
So
you can customize and make it personalized as much as
completely
the client wants.
because I myself love personalized stuff, because I remember you were having this conversation.
Yeah.
The thing is that when you reach a point, like if you shop a lot, I don't want to be like everyone else. Even there are certain, I'm not gonna name brands, but there are certain bangles that everyone has, certain watches that everyone has. I am for the customer who is like myself, who wants something for themselves, something tailored to them.
Can you tell the audience just a price point, like a rough price point for your jewelries?
Yeah, so it would be like starting from, for smaller pieces, starting from 2,000 dirhams. So a pair of stud earrings, but again, it's not like a pair of stud earrings that's bad quality. It's a pair of stud earrings that visually looks like a E-color VVS diamond, very durable. I swim in these, I dive in them, I do everything. So, I mean, you're paying for the fine quality.
Love that. And what about the necklace that you're wearing? Just for people to understand the price
this
point.
This one.
It's fine.
This is
It
like,
has a price.
this one would be like around 7,000.
7,000.
But they, if someone doesn't like, people buy it. If they don't want to, they can try to go to Graph and see how much it costs there.
100%. What's your greatest lesson that you've learned building your brand that you'll always remember this? Besides that, the people will always speak, criticize.
Yeah. I think essentially this is a lesson that I learned very recently. I think perseverance. And to be honest, I have my own way of working, which can be a bit unusual. Like, I don't see a point in overworking yourself because, again, as I'm a creative person. I like working at night, for example. I love it. When it's dark, I get my sketches out. This is how I am. And I think that if you have figured out for yourself that this is the way you like to work, this is how you should continue working. Because the moment you lose focus, you're gonna lose your vibe. If I may say, let me say a modern word right now. You're gonna use your vibe.
True.
Like, for example, if you, for yourself, you personally, like, you like working, like, you like, you like working in a certain time frame, just stick to that and stick to doing things.
Your kind of rhythm.
Your kind of rhythm, because I've tried to change it, and I cannot say that impacted me as
especially
good as that should have.
In the creative sphere, I believe rhythm works very well.
Yeah. But it can be hard to understand for a lot of people, even like for my friends, sometimes they're like, oh, like, for example, they're used, some of them work like morning and they finish at a certain time, and for them I might look a bit unorthodox.
True.
Yeah.
But that's what works for you. That's the most important
100%,
thing.
100%.
Then what's your goals going forward? Your aspirations? What do you want to do with the brand?
To be honest, this is just so bad to say. I remember one of my goals was that I want women to aspire to get my jewelry as a New Year gift. Especially, you've lived in Russia, New Year there. Wow, what a celebration. It is like the most. And actually, the thing is that I actually have women who are like, I asked my husband to get like your jewelry for me for the New Year. And actually, I have women who, and they have, trust me, fine jewelry, branded jewelry, but they're like, no, for my birthday I want this by you. So that was very humbling and made me very happy. But I think going forward, obviously you cannot be, I think a big mistake would be to be satisfied with the way things are, because you always have to grow. But I think my goal would be probably to gain a stronger presence here, and like, I think, like, I just want the brand to develop in Dubai.
Let's say now somebody will watch our episode and they will want to buy your jewelry.
Yeah.
So I want you to look at this camera and tell them what to do.
Okay, wonderful person. Hello. You may contact me via my Instagram. It's called Anita Manglani Jewelry. I usually answer super quick. Worst case scenario, you can reach out via my personal Instagram. It's called Anita Manglani, and you can also mention that you saw me on SEIF's program, because if I'm in a good mood, I can make a nice offer.
Always in a good mood. When SEIF's name comes on the table, always in a good mood. So tell her you're coming from SEIF.
With a good mood.
Do you have an online store?
I'm currently working on it, and it's been a long process.
Of course, but it's important these days. So
very
you're establishing
important,
it.
and it's a priority, to be honest. Even more of a priority rather than brick and mortar, because I'll be honest with you, I have sent stuff through Instagram. I actually, the recent sales I had were because of Instagram.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really trying to develop my online store, but have you tried making an e-commerce? Yeah, what a process.
But it's worth.
But that's a goal.
It.
That's a goal, by the way.
It's worth doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Another thing, let's say, for example, somebody lives abroad, not in Dubai, not in Moscow, and they really like your jewelry.
Yeah.
Do you do international shipping?
Yeah, we do.
So
because there are certain companies, some companies, delivery companies, they don't accept jewelry as shipping, but since we're semi-precious, it's still okay. And I work with companies who do international shipping. It's very easy.
So anybody who wants your jewelry living anywhere in the world, you do international shipping.
Super easy, no problem.
What will be the last message you want to leave the audience with, rather than like, contact me for buying my jewelry?
You told me to leave that message. I did not leave that message.
So you have the camera. So they will contact you for the jewelry, and next is
when I'm in a good mood, they have to contact
They have to play
That's
on
where
a
the
big
challenge is,
luck. And they will put my name.
So basically, what I would say is, I mean, I just don't want to sound very cliche, but
You know, the
but
important
it's,
for
it's
the
a
people,
thing that
for the people
it
who
works.
wants to open their business,
Yeah.
to be an entrepreneur, what kind of
So I'm gonna say
message?
the most common
Yeah.
message, which is actually the strongest message there is out there. It is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in your product. I think even believing in your product comes before believing in yourself, because if you yourself question your product, others are
Both
not
were
gonna
not. So always
understand
believe in
and
yourself.
carry it. I mean, if it's an accessory. If it's not, then yeah, I think believing in yourself would
So
be
there is
number
60% discount on the message that will come to Anita. So
There
get
is
right to her
no-
now, guys. Anita, thank you very much for having you today.
Thank you.
It really was an honor and a pleasure.
was a
And
pleasure.
I'm sure next time we will do the second part of the episode, you will have an empire, because the jewelry that you're wearing is actually super unique, I would say, and really classy. So
Thank you
next
so much.
episode will be having much more discounts for the people, and you'll have
Oh,
your own
dear.
empire. Thank you very
Long
much.
distance. Okay,
Thank you. Johnny, welcome back.
Thank you.
Tell me, what do you feel when you heard your daughter speaking about her business? Frankly speaking, from the heart.
Pride,
Yeah.
fulfillment, and a sense of achievement that my little girl is following in daddy's footsteps.
You know what I loved when we first met each other? We got to know each other through a connection. And the connection, or Dave told me, let's have a podcast. Your first request wasn't that I'm coming to the podcast. No, I'm gonna come with my daughter. That was the thing. So I respected it so much. So that's why I asked you, what do you feel when you heard your daughter? Which is pride.
Pride, fulfillment,
Yeah.
achievement, and of course, I'm looking forward to my younger daughter Dasha
True.
also creating a own brand. And I was thinking yesterday that if Dasha wants to do that, I will probably quit many things and work with her 1 or 2 years full time, including doing trunk shows for her
Wow.
and exhibitions and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I think let's see.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Let's ask you a question. Do you have any regrets in your life?
Right now, I wish I had more Bitcoin. Today, right now.
No, really. Do you have any regrets? And don't answer me because I'm not a billionaire. So
No, I mean, yeah, maybe I could have done a better job. Maybe I could have been more focused, and maybe I think I should have been more prudent when there was lots of money in before COVID. I should have been more prudent with many different investments. But you know, when you are hugely successful, one thing which comes, I mean, if you think about it, today one of the ex-presidents, he's in court all the time,
true.
right? Yesterday his daughter had to testify against him.
True.
So what happens is when you're successful, you do get carried away. You do get a sense of invincibility,
True.
that you are invisible, that whatever you touch turns into gold. And then you also feel kind of untouchable, right?
Yeah.
So, but it is also a learning curve, right? That be prudent, careful, make good decisions in life. Make good decisions. Good decisions
Makes or breaks.
makes or breaks. But if you make a very bad decision, I mean, you know, it can also, recently there was a supercar race, and one of the YPers whom I knew personally. We were championing an event in Russia, and he came there twice actually. And it was supercars, not race but driving in Sardinia. And he did a very risky move, and he passed away with his wife. That was all over the media 1.5 months ago. And so because, you're getting used to drive those cars, you drive them every year, and you feel more and more like taking risk,
True.
So when you are very successful, you take a lot of risk. So I did invest very heavily into many different things, which in hindsight I shouldn't have done. But again, always have a balanced approach. So that balance has helped us a lot.
For Johnny, what is success? What does success means to you? And of course, it changed over time, but now?
Number one, being kind. Number two, humility. Number three, teaching your kids maybe a little bit of your principles. Number four, doing discreet charity, not to go to big balls and events and put up your hand and saying I'm donating to this. Take care of your people. Take good care of your people. Take good care of people who are around you. So, and then to me, you must know that I personally, my biggest adrenaline is having a lot of friends. So I take great joy, great pleasure in, lifting up my friends, but then when I have a bad day or a bad mood, getting lifted up by them. Because end of the day, we all are here to go away. But what you can leave behind is a good name, maybe a legacy.
True.
And maybe a couple of people who will miss you. So to me, that is success, I mean, what's the sense of being a lonely billionaire at home who people don't think much about?
100%. I want you to share something with us that nobody knows. It's either a skill or a talent that really nobody knows. And I would say your daughter might know, but I mean, the majority of people don't know. You can tell me I play drums. I like cooking.
Listen, I'm a very open person. I wear my heart on my sleeves, and I don't think there is much.
And that's why you're close to heart, actually.
Yeah, there's not much I can disclose. I mean, there is no such stories or fantasies. I'm not a big drinker. I go to events, but I'm not very rarely. I'm not a big party guy. So I live a very,
The life that satisfies you.
Yeah, I mean, I do try to take care of myself. I'm not super fit, but I do walk daily and I do 30 minutes of stretching every morning. So to me, that keeps me going. It's very important to me, and my body demands it. If I take a day off, the body demands next morning, hey, stand up, stand up, stand up. So, yeah, what I can disclose is that
so there is nothing.
We admire a lot of people. We consider a lot of people like, I want to be like this guy. But we don't know their journey. So I have taken a lot of knocks in my life too. But then I have stood up and walked tall. So to me, I mean, maybe that's something I can disclose, that externally everything is great, but inside you do suffer a little bit of regret. So to me, being human is very important. So,
and I can see it in you, super visible, that you're human, truth, honesty, loving, caring. And I think that what makes you actually who you are now, and how strong you are, and how you foster these relationships that you have with your friends. I think that's your, I would say, strength and attributes that makes you who you are.
Well, at the end of the day, you realize that you don't owe nothing to anybody, and nobody owes you anything. So there is no need to be a fake person or, I mean, just,
To put a mask or
yeah, this is,
true.
I believe that we should be truthful and we should be upright citizens and be grateful. I appreciate Dubai quite a lot because, I was welcomed here, got my golden visa, one of the first ones to get it. And I feel at home, I feel secure, I feel safe.
I love
But
that.
one of the things which I believe, one thing if you allow me to
Sure,
say,
sure.
is when you have a bad day, next morning, try to practice gratitude.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning, thank God for opening your eyes, for waking you up, for having no bad phone calls in the night, because bad phone calls can mean only one thing. One of your loved ones is in trouble.
True.
So I do that every single day. And I do listen to motivational speakers. Like today I was listening to Tony Robbins. Then there is from India, there is a motivational guru. He's a priest actually. He talks very well. And Jim Rohn and Brian Tracy.
Of course.
So I do listen to 7 Habits of Highly
Successful people.
Yeah, I listen to the
Yeah.
podcast, and on YouTube there's a lot available.
Of course. I was going to ask you
summaries.
actually about your habits and routines, because I believe to be successful, you need to follow, I don't want to say a rigid system, but there are some habits and routines that contribute to your success. It's either the mindset or skills development or. So what kind of habits and routines? Now I understand that you watch things that feeds your mind with good information. That's something. Sports, you walk. And what else habits and routines do you have?
So, I mean, very disciplined in my life. I'm not sure I practice 100% perfect decision making. I would like to learn that and follow my instincts and be very, very decisive. But I try to drown the noise, but I do get carried away by the noise. But yesterday I was having dinner with a friend at the Emirates Golf Club, and one of the waitresses, she bought the food and she said, "Mr. Johnny, I knew it's you, because I saw the order." And he says,
Yeah.
"Okay, because every time you
It's the
come,
same.
you order the same food." So
Mhm.
I'm a creature of habit. I eat the same food. For example, at the Capital Club, I eat only the tikas and the samosa chaat
Yeah.
because I got satisfaction from
Done,
them.
yeah.
So I want to stick to. So if I go to Milos in Royal Atlantis,
Yeah.
I order the same thing, and
Every-
they know.
And it's, it's actually also, it's removes the decision making from your head.
Yes.
It's puts on an automatic part and it's done.
So every morning I need today I was invited to the Capital Club for an event hosted by my friend Joanne at 9 o'clock. And I said, no, I'll be at 11:30 because
You have your
there is nothing I can learn there by meeting people in the morning.
true.
But if I break my discipline, if I break my habits, I will have a miserable day.
True.
So we should practice routines. We should practice, certain
Discipline,
habits.
100%.
But I want to, honestly, I want to do one thing in the next 1 year.
Yeah.
2024 is around the corner. I want to be very focused and very, very disciplined. This time I want to write down all the resolutions and I
make
want to
it
read them every
single
morning and follow them. I think that will, and one of my targets is focusing on myself,
Yeah.
on my own happiness, on my own well-being, because I have realized that when I'm strong, I am capable of giving
and
a
helping
lot.
people and supporting people around
But
you.
if I'm weak, then I myself get
Of course, you
in
can.
trouble and I cannot distribute what I want to, or give so much to
That's very
my
important.
loved ones
actually.
and to my
True.
friends, and also I want to focus very much. So I have 3 or 4 priorities for next year.
But from this is a personal
Yeah.
goals. What's gonna be your professional goals? Let's say I don't want to say 5 years down the line. It's a little bit long horizon, but for the coming years.
So one of my, I want to I was listening to a couple of motivational speakers and some business gurus, and I want to focus on targets. I want to write down KPIs for myself. Among them is like rejuvenating the Moscow business, which is doing well despite of all the challenges, making the Dubai boutique successful, maybe try to open one more boutique here, although it's a big challenge because locations are at a premium and hard to get.
True.
I mean, I don't want to be in Emirates Mall near
True.
some washroom somewhere.
True.
So
100%.
So there are some personal business goals and family goals, and
I'm sure you're gonna achieve it. I'm
so
sure you're gonna achieve.
hopefully
What
God
will
will give one more good year.
100%. What will be, I would say, the last message you want to leave the audience with, and something from the heart? And when I say something from the heart, you can look at this camera and
Well, look, I mean, in these very tricky times, I think most important is to be yourself, focus on your family, focus on your strengths, drown the noise, don't follow too much of, don't get influenced by external events, and be strong, be respectful, and be kind.
I love that, and I'm sure all the listeners will have a big value from our conversation, because it's really from the heart. It's very authentic. There is no barriers, there is no fakeness. But before we end this episode, we have a ritual here.
All right.
So this ritual it's all about what we call here the Alpha Talks memoir. And the Alpha Talks memoir, it's a memoir that the Alpha guest has to do 3 things. The first thing is he writes about the experience that he had in the Alpha Talks podcast. The second thing is he should write a question to the next Alpha guest, whatever question you have in your mind. But it's a way of making the Alpha guests talk to each other, though they will not know that you wrote. Or the third one is to recommend somebody to be the next Alpha guest you think that you will really add value to our audience. Okay. So before we close the episode, we need to do what now? Answer the question from the previous Alpha guest. Are you ready?
Yes, indeed.
Who? Actually, this is the question I didn't like, but okay. So, give me please 3 things. Oh my God, 3 things that you didn't like in your host SEIF.
I'm not going to answer that. I want this to be a successful, and I like everything about you. So,
Honestly, if there is something you can tell me, I'm very flexible in taking comments. Actually,
look, I mean,
Because
you are a very giving person, right? And I know your personal story. Also, we did talk about it,
true.
and the positivity you radiate, and the aura you radiate is
Appreciate it.
mesmerizing. So keep it up.
Appreciate it, brother. It's really been an honor to have you today. It's an amazing conversation. It was one of the longest podcasts we've ever did, and at the same time the most enjoyable. The time flew. I didn't feel the time that we recorded that long. So I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy businessman. Thank you for coming to us, and I'm sure we're gonna have another sequel, and this sequel could be even a podcast that we do in Moscow.
That would be lovely.
Yes.
At the terrace of the Ritz-Carlton with the view of the Kremlin.
Oh my God.
The GM is a very good friend. So
I miss Novikov in Ritz, the Novikov restaurant.
Oh, downstairs, the
my God.
Asian one, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Well, inshallah, we will have many
Absolutely.
opportunities there.
Oh, absolutely.
And no, I mean, it has been totally an amazing experience. I mean, you are one of the most natural and welcoming hosts. So I wish you and your team
Thank you very much.
a lot of success. And I don't want to forget to thank Dave,
Yeah.
our dear friend Dave
True.
Chagger
Yeah, exactly.
from the Capital Club
Yeah.
for introducing
Each
us.
other. True.
I'll be grateful to him forever.
Thank you, brother.
That wraps another inspiring episode of today's show. I hope that this episode has ignited your inner alpha and left you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to conquer any challenge that comes your way. Remember, alphas aren't born, they're made. It isn't about dominating others, it's about embracing your authenticity, leading with integrity, and making a positive impact on the world. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the Alpha Talks on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review and share the podcast with your fellow alphas. Also connect with us on social media at SEIF Al-Hakim. Share your thoughts, insight, and stories of personal and business growth with us. Let's create a movement of alphas supporting one another. The world needs more alphas like you exactly. Until next time, stay bold, stay driven, and stay alpha.